Hey everybody, this is Cadroll Hunter. I picked up this bag of silver and other goodies. We're gonna have a peek. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is James and you're watching my channel Cadroll Hunter. I paid a visit to my local antique store and talked to Tim, the antique dealer, and he had this bag of coins that he sold me, something he picked up in an estate sale. I bought the silver as junk silver at 17 times face, and he threw in everything else. I see some King George V nickels, I see some large cents, and I think I even saw Queen Victoria on one of them, so there's some oldies in here, and a few other things too. So I'm ready to dump this all out here, of course, and it's not gonna be all that sound of silver, because there's some nickel and some copper and some other stuff in there, but we're gonna get it all out of here, and that is a nice sight to see. Oh, I see a bobcat there. I see silver, I see large cents. This is really cool. So I'll get this all organized here. I guess we'll start with the large cents, and I brought along my Lighthouse Vista Nature large cent album. It houses all the large cents from 1858 to 1920. That was the last day for the large cent, and I don't have a whole lot of slots in here filled. This has really just been from, like, you know, antique purchases and things I find along the way. I don't get these very often. They don't circulate. I can't get them coin roll hunting, so we're hoping we can fill a few spots in here. We'll see what we've got. So I just separated these from the other coins, and can you see what I can see? This is pretty awesome. I see not just one, but at least three Victoria cents here. That's probably another one there. It looks like it says 1800. They're darker than some of the other ones. Oh, there's another one there. So this is pretty awesome. This means we've got some old stuff in here, and Tim just threw this in for free, and I love free, so that is really, really cool. I'm gonna sort these out by year. We'll see if we can fill any spots in that album. So we've got some different dates here, but we have some duplicates. We got two 1882H, and the H stands for Heaton. That's basically the mint in Birmingham, as opposed to the Royal Mint in London, England. So we got two of those. We got two 1888s. These are both fairly common dates. We got an 1899 that is a little bit bent out of shape. It looks like it's got a bit of a dent in the front there and it's scratched up. That's okay. We got a couple of 1912s. 1915, 1916, and three 1918s. Two of them are in pretty rough shape. One's a little bit better. We'll have a peek at our album and see what might be going on here. So most of these slots are already filled, but I think we're going to get some updates or upgrades to this 1882H. As you can see, it's pretty worn in the middle. Check out this one that we got. It looks like it has it has some toning for sure, but it has tons of detail, which you can really see on the obverse. Look at all that detail on there. Lots of detail in the hair, much better than any of the other ones, and probably much better than the one in the album. So I think that's going to upgrade. This 1888 that we have in here, it looks pretty good on the front, but when I show you the obverse, check it out. This is obviously taped or glued into some album. This might be one for a future video to see if we can separate this from the paper that's on there. But for now, I think we can throw one of these guys in there and, you know, still have a fair amount of detail on that one. There looks to be maybe some damage on the rim. I'll take a look and we'll put the best one in there anyhow. The 1899 is an open slot, so we'll throw that in there. But everything else, the 12, the 15, the 16, the 18, we have them all. So again, if any of them upgrade what I've got in here, I'll throw it in. So here are our nickels. We actually got 17 of them. I didn't actually think there were going to be that many in here. That's pretty awesome. We got a range of dates, but we didn't get the key date. The key date's the 1925. I didn't expect to see that here at all, but if we had gotten one, that would be incredible. We got a couple 1922s. That's the first year. King George V, 5 cent. This is the first year they made them in nickel. Previously, up to 1920, they were much smaller and they were silver. They called them fish scales because they were so small. They were like, seemed to be like the size of your almost like your pinky nail, but they were pretty small. Got a couple 1924s. We got, oh, over here I missed a 1929, a 1930, a couple 1931s, some 34s, some 35s, and last year, 1936, we got a few of those. So that's pretty awesome. I love getting some of these old King George V nickels. If you've been watching my hunts, I think I've only got 2 or 3 of these ever in circulation. So they're really, really hard to come by. So if I can get 17 of them for free, that's pretty awesome. So there are no significant varieties to look for in any of these years. If we had the 1932, we'd be looking for the near to or far to. We didn't get any of those to scope, of course. And so, I mean, there are, in some of these years, there might be a near S or far S on sense, how close it is to the rim. But really, they're interesting varieties, but don't hold really any value. But it's fun to have one of each in your collection. All right, let's move on to the silver. So we just got one dime in there. This one is the 1967. So it's a commemorative. It is the Centennial of Confederation. And interestingly, the 1967 year could be either 50% silver or 80% silver. This was a transitional year. They changed that composition partway through the year. So I could have overpaid for this. Maybe I underpaid for it. It all comes out in the wash really with what we got. But 17 times face for silver. Silver has just been on a tear for a while, so I'll take it anyway, just that little guy mixed in there. We got $1.50 face value in quarters. 3 of them are 1958. This is the nicest one right here. That's the laureate portrait. You can see there's still lots of detail. It's got some toning on it there, probably the way it was stored. We got one 1960. And we got a couple of the Bobcats there, also Centennial Confederation commemoratives, just like the mackerel over here. These guys also could be 50% or 80% silver. And somebody's going to leave a comment in the comment section say that they can hear the difference in the way they ping. Somebody's going to probably try and tell you that they're going to weigh differently. The specifications for the dime and for the quarter are identical in these denominations here in this year, whether it's 50% or 80%. These are going to be 5.83 grams. Either way, it doesn't matter. They don't weigh up lighter if they're less silver. I don't know how that is, why that is. That's just the way it is. The specifications are just the same. And I don't think that you can really easily tell the difference with the sound. If you can, that's great. Good for you. But coin dealers don't even try to differentiate between the 50 and 80%. They all sell as though they're at 65%. They just split the difference. Nobody has the time to weigh them up. So again, I might have overpaid or underpaid, who knows? But we got a couple of those and they're pretty cool. We got a bunch of what we call 50-cent pieces. And if you're from south of the border, you might call them $half. And nothing really old. The oldest one, of course, is this 1957. And this features Canada's old coat of arms. This is probably my favorite design of Canadian coinage, this 50-cent piece that's got the laureate portrait here, but I love that coat of arms. In 1959, I think, maybe 1960, they changed the design. This is the new coat of arms. So this is very familiar looking, of course, for me as a Canadian, but I don't quite like it as much as the older design. So just something to think about there. But we got a couple of 1960s, a couple 61s. We got a 62. We got a bunch of 1964s. We got 3 1965s. 65, of course, is when we changed to this diadem portrait from the laureate portrait. So we got a few of those. And one 1966. And these are all 80% silver. So we've got 1, 2, $3 face, 4, 5, 6, 7.50 face on here. So I just love adding to my silver stack with some cool older Canadian coins. We didn't get any King George VI, but that's okay. Silver's silver. And I paid essentially melt value, or probably even less than melt value for these, which is pretty awesome. Really no varieties or errors to speak of in these years. In the earlier years, before this 1957, the last digit was hand punched. And so there are near and far varieties or wide and narrow dates where the last digit's either further away or closer to the third digit. But in the 50s, they started punching all of these dates on the die at the same time. So there's no variation. Earlier, it might be a little bit left, a little bit right. So nothing to look for there, but you want to have your Charlton guide with you if you want to see what junk silver you might have got that has errors and varieties, because they're listed in there, and that's really helpful. Otherwise, you just don't know. That's how I can be really confident that I'm not missing anything, because I always check the Charlton guide, which is really helpful to do. If you don't have the Charlton guide, you want to use my discount code CRH20 at charltonpress.com. You can get that there, and you'll be happy because you won't miss anything either. You gotta love it when you get stuff for free, particularly if the things that you bought, you already got a pretty good deal for. So I love that. I've been buying a lot of things from Tim, so I think he's happy to keep me happy, throw in a few extra things, and these are probably gonna be hard for him to sell. There's not a lot of profit in these necessarily, but it certainly makes me happy, and I love looking through old coins, and it's awesome when we get some old copper like that. Pretty cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed this look at some junk silver or scrap silver for my silver stack, if you will. Plus, I'll look at some other cool free stuff that we got, some old Canadian coins that we don't see very often. I love looking through that stuff. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please hit that button and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And give the video a like. That's really helpful too. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next time. The sponsors of today's video are Lighthouse Canada and the Charlton Press. Lighthouse Canada is the leading supplier of high-quality numismatic supplies in Canada, and the Charlton Press is the leading publisher of coin and paper money catalogs and price guides for Canadian collectors. Go check out their online stores today and use the exclusive discount code CRH20 for 20% off all your purchases.